What's the best way to invest in the stock market?
Very, very carefully.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.
Hi, I'm Yetta Decker, and I'm with my sidekick, Ken Decker. Why is that funny?
It's cute being called a sidekick.
And we're excited to be with you and share with you another episode of Life's Inside Track, where we share techniques, thoughts, and tools that we all need, we all deserve, you, I, everyone, to turn our house into a home where our families thrive and we live the best life possible.
How to invest in the stock market is kind of a great question, isn't it?
Yeah, sparks fly when you talk about something like that. Sparks fly.
Well, because I find people talk about it when they're way up and they don't talk about it when they're way down.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking from personal experience is what we're going to do in this episode, because neither one of us are financial experts. We're not financial planners. We don't have any courses or certificate. We just have life experience.
We have a lot of courses, actually. Yeah. And in this episode, you're going to learn how the benefit of automation is going to benefit you, what the benefit of automation is in relation to the stock market investing.
Yeah, automation. That's a great thing, because you know what? You know where I learned about automation?
Yes.
Where?
Wealthy Farmer.
Wealthy Farmer? The Wealthy Farmer. That's a great one. We should write that book.
We should.
I've never found a farmer that admitted that they were wealthy.
I know many wealthy farmers, though.
Yes. So The Wealthy Barber and The Automatic Millionaire was another book I read. Mm-hmm. And also we wrote the book, The Wealth Formula.
Right.
And it talks about it in there as well.
Right, because as a result of doing all that reading and all that experience that Ken's talking about, we learned a thing or two.
Yep. Learned how to... Yetta says I'm a magician.
He is a magician.
Learned how
Have
to...
you ever met a magician that is so good with money that not only can they make it appear, but from time to time, they do the magical work of making $1 million disappear.
Yeah, I can make
overnight.
I can make large sums of money vanish
in a heartbeat.
It's pretty amazing.
That's not what this is about. This is about how to actually do well with the stock market. But if you remembered at the very beginning of the show, I said, when Ken asked the question, how do you do well in the stock market? And it really is very, very carefully. And automation helps.
Yeah. And you know what's also neat is people think, oh, well, I'm investing in mutual funds because then I'm not in the stock market. But mutual funds are just made up of a great section of stocks in the stock market, right? So we did this, right? We did the automation and we did it in the RESP.
Right, which is for the kids, for their education.
Yeah, that was a while back.
I know, because our kids, we got grandkids that are done high school, so I guess it is a while back. Never mind that.
And you know what I really liked about that?
And yet it still worked, and it still works today.
What I liked about the RESP is Ryan went to college for 3 years and used up a good chunk of it. Candace chose not to. She chose to go into real estate. We paid for her courses. But what was interesting was I got to take the excess money out and buy a sports car.
So there's a lot of good benefits to the RRESP.
Yeah, because Candace wanted to use it for her purposes. And I said, no, you're not going to university or college, then I'm going to use it.
Right. Okay, so back to the automation.
Yeah, automation is so important.
It starts with paying yourself first. So the idea is you actually pay yourself for an investment account to be able to purchase stocks.
Yeah. And whoa, because we got to back up a little bit.
Back up the train?
Yeah, because we were a little bit on the track. We were a lot amuck in our finances until we came to the church and started learning about financing. And what was interesting was the discipline to tithe, the discipline to give to charity, the discipline to take that first 10% and give it back created the discipline to save.
Did.
And so it became automatic. We just look at our paycheck and go, okay, this is how much it is. This is how much we're taking off. Boom, that's gone. And then the same happened with the RESPs and the RRSPs. Money came off the paycheck automatically, right?
And if it didn't come off the paychecks automatically once we were self-employed, which was pretty early on, we would set it up so that it automatically came off. It wasn't somebody
We
else
just
doing it.
pulled it out of
We
our account.
pulled it out of the account so that it could happen automatically. Because I don't know about you, but if you wait to decide till you've got the money, there seems to always, well, maybe not always, but frequently, a better use for the money. Seems to be I need it for something or want it for something that I desire to purchase. So the reason automation is so magical, and it really is magic, it's not the disappearing act. It's the
It's the appearing act.
It's the appearing act. And the reason it is so is because the decision was made once. The decision was made when you decided to set up your automatic adding to your investment account.
Right. Because many times I would have said, oh, when I've got money left over, then I'll invest it.
Right.
Or if I have money left over, then I'll give it away. And there's never any money left over.
Doesn't seem to be.
But what's interesting is when we took it off the top, we got used to living on what was left.
Right.
And it made for great advantage for us over the years. It's really made a difference in our life. So that automatic piece, so important.
And when you hear the word automatic, it would be so easy to gloss over. Like we decided to do an entire chunk of an episode on just the word automatic or automation, which I thought when we first wrote it, we thought that's a little lame. Like that's nothing.
Yeah.
And yet it's the total
maker.
difference maker.
Because it feeds into several other aspects, which we may talk about in a future episode, but it's just so powerful what it does for your investing. Because you know what, I'll wrap myself out again. What I used to do was say, oh, okay, we got to the end of the year, we'd made a lot of money, we owe a bunch of taxes because we're self-employed, we didn't save any money, we spent it all, so let's borrow money to put into our RSPs to save some tax dollars. And that was like the worst decision. And you may be wondering, well, why was it the worst decision? Well, if you pick up my book, The Wealth Formula, you'll find out why that was. There's a couple of reasons why that's terrible financial planning.
Well, you're also can I just
it's not
give
planning,
one tip?
it's financial reactive.
Yeah, it's reaction. And when you're
You wanna
reactive
give-
instead of automated, it doesn't really
You
work.
want to give away a tip out of the book?
Yeah, can you?
Can you? Sure. Which tip do you want to give?
Well, the one I was thinking about was the impact of simply doing it whether you feel like it or not. You do what you decided without the feel like. It's got nothing to do with whether it feels good in the moment or not, because there's no instant gratification. So forget the instant gratification and go for the automation.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking, well, I understand this really, really well, or maybe you're thinking I don't understand this really, really well. Either way, I would actually encourage you to this month, pick up a book, whether it's an audio book or an ebook about investing, and just go a little bit deeper into the topic than you already are aware. Because it really does make good sense to make good use of the money rather than vanish it, let it appear.
We're grateful to be your partners in moving forward together.
Moving forward with the Decker